If you walk into the Basilica of St. Mary Majors in Rome, besides just the beautiful architecture and the art, something else should strike you a little, we can say a little, or at least a subtle theological feature should strike you when you enter that church, that basilica. When you make your way up the central nave and up to the high altar and go under the high altar into a little grotto built there, or dug under the altar there, you'll find that in this oldest and most important of Marian churches in the Western world, under the high altar at the very heart and center of this church, there are preserved some very special relics, the relics of the Holy Manger, of the Holy Crib, where our Lord, after being born, was laid to rest by Our Lady, His Divine Mother. In fact, already in the 5th century, when the Pope Sixtus III, built the present structure, he had this intuition that, well, what's the most fitting place, to represent the grotto of Bethlehem than this church dedicated to the Mother of God? And he did so much so that the church was initially, for a period of time, called Our Lady, or St. Mary's of the Manger. And this teaches us a lesson which any Marian church teaches us. Any Marian church should have as its center our Lord in the tabernacle and the Blessed Sacrament. But this, the manger at the center of Our Lady of St. Mary Majors teaches us this in a special way. Not every church, not every Marian church is the first and the oldest and most important Marian church in the world, and not every church has the relics, the precious relics of the Holy Crib. This teaches us what St. Maximilian formulated so well, that if you look for the king, where do you look for him? Not outside of his palace, but inside, deep inside his own palace. And here we should say, and we can say, if you look for the high priest, where do you look for him? Not outside of the temple, but inside, deep inside his temple. And so it is with us. The church teaches us in many ways, through her preaching, through her liturgy, also through her architecture, and in all ways it teaches us and reminds us the truths of the faith. Today it reminds us that at the center of this Marian Basilica is the center of our faith, our Lord. At the center of the mystery of the Divine Maternity is the Incarnation. And the closer we want to draw to our Lord, the more we want to understand the mystery of the Incarnation and of our Lord Himself, the more we have to delve into the mystery of Our Lady. At the heart of Our Lady is the heart of our faith, our Lord. At the heart of Marian devotion is our Lord, is love for our Lord. So let us use this grace and do precisely that. If we want to look for our Lord, our King, our High Priest, let's look for Him not outside of His palace, not outside of His temples, but inside His palaces, inside His temple, deep inside His temple, especially inside that temple that He built for Himself, the temple of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Praised be Jesus and Mary.